Sight words. No doubt you are familiar with the term sight words, but what exactly are sight words? Sight words are words that we need to teach children to recognise instantly and without any sounding out or decoding. They are often words that cannot be sounded out. So the idea is to lock them into your child's mind so they can be automatically and easily recalled. Lots of words are decodable, which means they can be sounded out, but many sight words can't be sounded out because they don't follow decoding rules. For example, the words said, was, and where. We often fall into the trap, as adults, of asking children to sound out words they don't know. But if you ask them to really sound the word out, for example, the word said, they would say se-a-i-d, and it doesn't make sense. So you can see why it's so important that certain words can be identified and recalled instantly. Sight words are high-frequency words, that is, words that occur most regularly in reading materials. Sight words are usually introduced at school in lots of 4 or 5. Teachers spend a lot of time focusing on these words in class, but the words are usually also sent home for parents to practice with their children. Learning to read can be really tricky. To a beginning reader, words often look like a series of jumbled and meaningless symbols and markings. Imagine if the words in the chart below were represented or replaced with those matching symbols. Even as adults, we would initially find it really challenging to remember and make sense of these. So why do we teach sight words? We want our children to learn to read with ease. So students who know their sight words well have a really good base for beginning reading instruction. We want our children to experience success by automatically recognising lots of words in their home readers and books. The more sight words they have, the better chance they have of reading a text with confidence and ease. When do we teach sight words? Sight word instruction begins in kindergarten and continues into Year 1 and Year 2. It is important to note, however, that some students will need extra time and will continue learning and practicing their sight words beyond Year 2. The sight words we teach are not just random choices. We teach sight words based on standard lists. The list we teach from consists of 200 high-frequency words. It's quite a powerful statistic to note that these words make up 50 to 75% of all the words found in regular reading material. In other words, once children learn all of these words, their chance of reading success increases enormously. So how do we teach and practice sight words? At school, our teachers use a range of strategies when working with sight words. Flashcard drill and practice, sight word games, and word walls. Flashcard drill and practice. This is when a stack of sight words or cards are used for lots of fast-paced, short bursts of repetition in the classroom. This helps children recognise their sight words instantly and helps commit them to long-term memory. Sight word games are a fun and engaging way to reinforce sight word retention. These are great to play at home, but only just for a 5 to 10 minute session. Treasure hunt is where we line up 10 sight words or so and hide a sticker or a coin underneath one. If your child reads the word correctly, they get to look underneath and see if they've found the treasure. Sight word fishing can be played with a magnet on the end of a fishing line and paper clips on the sight word cards. Children fish for a word, but they can only keep it if they can read the sight word correctly. For a bit of fun, maybe play silly sentences. Simply use sight word cards to make nonsense sentences. The fridge and TV code idea came from one of our parents. They would blue tack 4 or 5 sight words on the fridge door or on the TV, and their child was only ever allowed access if they could read the code words. Children love playing stepping stones. The cards across the carpet represent stepping stones in a river. If a word is read correctly, they proceed towards the other side. If it's read incorrectly, they fall into the crocodile-infested river. And towers. This is a great pair game. From a stack of sight words, take turns choosing a word. If it's read correctly, it gets added to your tower. Kids love trying to beat their parents at this game. And finally, word walls. This is a fabulous classroom resource which is built up throughout the year. It becomes a really valuable reference for our students. So, as mentioned, there are lots of great tips and resources available on the internet. These are just a few. Just remember that when you're working with sight words at home, keep it fun, fast-paced, and limited to no more than 5 to 10 minutes a session. Thank you, parents, for taking the time to view this presentation. Enjoy reading at home with your child.